right away put some context why green guidance and why a new approach to career counseling. So going back to 2019, I attended one of the sessions at IC3 Festival, Ambika with her panel. And she was bringing in that awareness that as career counselors, we also need to think about SDGs, that's Sustainable Development Goals, and how can we integrate that into our career counseling practices. However, after that session, it just kept on lingering that can we have some pragmatic ways that immediately after the session, we all as career counselors can go back and immediately implement, because SDGs are pretty vague. It's huge, and we don't know where to start from. So from that thought, it's 2022, and we're again here with Ambika and Ramya, and we really tried to think a lot of different ways what we can give you, like a quick start immediately when you leave the session. So let's begin with this session. I'm Khushboo Bedi, heading the Career Self Sanskar Valley School. We have Ambika from DPS RK Puram and Ramya from Manthan International. All right, so one quick thing. Let's get active, guys. Just a hand raise, okay? What is it that you can associate SDG with? Any word, anything that comes to you. Sustainability, okay, that's there in the word, okay. Anything else? Recycling. Come on, this table. Inclusion, yes. Yes? Sorry? Education and health, perfect. Green environment.
Better women representation.
Okay, gender equality, yes. Anything from that table? Yes, ma'am. Environment, yes, yes. Way of living, well-being, yes. Nurturing emotions, emotional well-being. Yes, so pretty much if we see, SDGs basically are spread out into 17 colorful boxes right here. And these are the 17 SDGs set by United Nations for all of us to take care of, to make this world a better place to live in by 2030. So let's discuss why SDG. Why do we really need to care about it? So here is this beautiful umbrella statement. There are 17 goals, 169 tasks, 193 countries, and just one outcome. And that is a greener, beautiful, happy planet Earth. And we as prosperous, peaceful, happy humanity dwelling on this earth. This is all that we want to achieve. And we all can contribute in our own ways. We just need to change the narrative. We need to change the way we are acting and behaving in our everyday life. So why do we care for it now? So the point is that we need to align ourselves as an individual and as an educator to align our actions towards SDGs, towards that goal which is there in front of us. It's just 8 years to go into 2030, right? We don't have a runway. We can't fly away. We need to take some small steps to get there by 2030. And this is pressing. This is urgent. And that's why we're here to talk about this. And as educators, I know that there's so much that we can do. Because of the pandemic, everything has anyways gone slower. We need to reignite everything. And as educators, we can connect with the new generation, Gen Z. They are in our hands, right with us. The way we can influence them, no one can. And with our session, you will see how beautifully, as career counselors, what is the dynamic change, the miraculous change that we can bring about through career and college guidance, and into that impact of a better world. Yeah. All right, Ramya.
Okay. So you've all heard of the Times Higher Education, right?
Yeah.
What do we associate it with? Rankings, right? But they also have, they have they have the general rankings, the employability rankings, they also have sort of sustainability rankings of the institutions. But recently, they did a survey of international students. This is a survey they conducted of 3,151 international students in May of this year. So this is pretty recent. And it was a survey to understand how students are thinking about sustainability when they think of higher education choices, right? So what is striking is 71% of students and prospective students were aware of UN SDGs. Now, when we think of our own students, what do we feel? Like, can I get a quick, what percentage of your students do you think are aware of UN SDGs? Do you want to shout out a number? 5. That's really 90%. That is amazing. 90%, 60%. Yes, sir. 75%. Okay, so that is good. So, oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. I don't know how to do this. So basically, I mean, that is a large number of students. And this makes sense to us, right? Because when we speak to these kids, we know these things are front and center in their mind, right? But look at this. So 86% see universities as equally important stakeholders as governments and businesses. Because when we think of sustainability, all those things you guys mentioned, right? The environment, climate change, gender equality, things like that. We think more about government policies. We think about large, institutions, corporates, right? But students are saying that universities are as important as those institutions, as governments and businesses in driving sustainable practices, okay? So, oh no, was that me? Was that you guys? Okay, all right. So I would urge you all to look at this survey. The link is below. You can take a screenshot. We have the QR code if you want to go to it. It's really interesting, okay? Now, further, the survey asked which of these 17 SDGs are most important. So for students, it was, unsurprisingly, SDG 4, which is quality education, followed by climate action. And a in close alignment with that is zero hunger. So those are the 3 tick marks that we have put. But look at that, that's just 3, right? Whereas there are so many other SDGs. So we need to make them perhaps more aware, because when they say that 71% of the students are aware, maybe that awareness is just focused on the few SDGs. But really, we have to think of it, we have to start thinking of it as a holistic, all 17 goals working together. Okay, so why does this all matter, right? Why should it matter to us as counselors? Because when students are looking at higher education at colleges and universities, they are looking at all these things. This is a very wordy slide. We apologize, so you can just take a screenshot. But basically, they're looking at policies, practices, what the universities are doing in terms of sustainability, not just what they're saying. So what does this mean to us? We all talk about the right fit, right? So we need to make sure we also are looking at these things when we are talking to students, right? So the 3 takeaways from this survey are: 1, we as counselors need to be more aware of SDGs. We as counselors need to incorporate SDGs when we're talking to students about fit. And the third is, as institutions ourselves, right? Schools are institutions, and we can be very impactful. And so what are we doing as a school? Like, imagine if this survey was done with our students for our schools, what would the results be like? So through the rest of this presentation, we're going to give you some guidelines on how we as counselors and our institutions can incorporate these practices tangibly into our institutions. Oh, sorry, that's my slide. Okay. It's been a long couple of days, apologies. Okay, so we're gonna go through a quick exercise, just a couple of minutes. Pretty traditional career path, right? Because green guidance, often we think of all these like very new and upcoming, environmental engineers and sustainability consultants and stuff. Mechanical engineering, right? Please take out your phones or your tabs or laptops, whatever it is. Take 2 minutes and go through whatever careers you want in mechanical engineering and tick off in your little printouts that we gave you how many SDGs are covered by mechanical engineering. And just write 1 career against whichever ones you can think of. Is that clear? Right? So how many SDGs do mechanical engineering careers impact? Yeah, we'll take 2 minutes, 1 minute to do this. So, Ambika, you want to set a timer, or somebody wants to set a timer? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so clear, right? Yes. Yeah, please share. We have 2 extras here. Folks online, you can please pull up this SDG.
Should we go
Please
back to
share
the
with your.
slide?
Please share with your table.
Ramya, give me, I'll just push back that slide.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, it's in
here.
the next slide. Okay,
Here.
sorry. Oh, it was in the next slide too.
Are you thinking? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
positive impacts, not negative impacts. So if a factory is spewing out a hell of a lot of carbon dioxide, which it probably is, we don't want to put that against climate action, right? Positive impact through mechanical engineering careers on any of these SDGs.
So basically the idea is a person who is a mechanical engineer, what SDGs can that person in his own career touch upon?
Or in her own career, because
Yes.
we often associate mechanical engineering with men. As an
Yes.
engineer myself, I've seen this in real life, so. Yes, that's trauma. Do you guys need any help?
Any help needed?
Is the assignment clear?
Okay.
Thank you for coming. You can feel free to discuss amongst your group. This is not an individual. It's up to you. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, so to keep this crisp and, oh my God, I went really way back. Okay, and excellent. Okay, who wants to share? Brave soul. We'll give you some candy from the free candy that's sitting in your thing. Okay, I'm going to pick on this table because it's a big table. Yes.
Hi everyone, good morning. So we have shot down few lists as we see that's a couple of points which really makes an impact in sustainability in mechanical engineering. So the first one is the 8th point, the decent work and economic growth. And we have industry and innovation and infrastructure development. And no, it's not.
Oh, this is gone.
It's gone.
It is, it is.
So the next will be the sustainable cities and the communities. And responsible consumption and production, the 12th one. And the 17th, the partnerships for the goals.
Okay. And okay. Any other who wants to share next? Someone at this end of the room. If you can also give us if any specific careers or just like one phrase on how the SDGs impacted.
Yeah, I don't know about specific careers, but we came across number 2, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But I think mechanical engineering could impact all of these in one way or another if we had more time to go through it. But basically, number 2, zero hunger. Obviously, mechanical engineering can help produce better food production methods. Number 6, I think it's quite obvious because I think mechanical engineering is already working on clean water and sanitation. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. We're already working on that because we have wind farms and solar energy, so mechanical engineering is already there. Number 11, materials and methods are also already being looked at to help with buildings, and the list goes on. So I think a lot of it is already being impacted through mechanical engineering. I'll finish then.
Thank you. It's just a long session, so no. But yes, I think you really hit the nail on the head, because it can impact all 17 SDGs. And there is a little link here. We should have been smarter and put a QR code, but that is a report from UNESCO that basically details how even a traditional career, a traditional major like mechanical engineering, has an impact on all 17 SDGs. So the takeaway from this exercise is that green guidance is not just about new age green careers. It is about how, thinking, just putting on a different lens and even approaching traditional careers through an SDG lens. So with that, I'll hand it over to Khushboo to actually take us through some case studies. Yes, so we'll share it in the notes of the, that's a good, I'll just do it right now. Thank you. Yeah.
We have 1 or 2 things online. Yes. So just acknowledging our 20 participants online. Thank you guys. We're so happy that early in the morning you're engaging with us. So Apurva says that Tata Motors has a sustainable development policies amongst all its goals. We're also talking, there's a lot of electronic vehicle, EV, etc. there. And on the mech example, the mechanical engineering in particular, food seems to have come up, agriculture seems to have come up, and medicine seems to have come up in terms of production. So that's very interesting, and I think it's very topical given how we have experienced food shortage, logistics shortage, as well as medicine logistics issues over the pandemic. So thank you online guys. We're keeping an eye out on you as well.
Thank you.
All right. Is this working? Yeah. So, these are some of my students that I thought would be really relevant to share here. These are real-time case studies. These are my guys studied from Sanskar and now doing some great work in their life. So this is the engineering pathway that we want to discuss first, and then we'll move on to economics. Now, in engineering, this guy, Prachir Datta, he was at our school, a very nerdy guy, never bothered about SDGs and social impact and all of that, just very nerdy, got into IIT, got into textile engineering. And there in Delhi, he just experienced that there was so much pollution coming out of paddy fields, the paddy waste, that the farmers had. And that really touched him. But he didn't have all the expertise to do something about it. So he created a panel, and they all became social entrepreneurs. And it's an award-winning firm, the organization working on sustainable packaging solutions. They're also helping the farmers sell those paddy waste and at the same time reducing single use of plastic. So all this is happening because something hit him. He just went through a very simple traditional Indian route. No fancy degree, but just the right intent, just the right cause, just the right purpose. And he figured how he wants to do this, right? So this is one situation. Now, a very interesting story is when Prachir was invited, we invited him as an alumni to come and talk to our students and talk about what he's doing because it was so inspiring. So this guy, Tanmay Prakash, who's right now in UCSD, he got inspired. And how? And in grade 10th, he got complete clarity. He was completely sold out to this, that I want to study a green degree and have a green career. And right now, he's studying renewable energy and environmental flows at UCSD. So this is just a small thing, but it was transformational for this child and for our school and for me as a counselor to see that how little exposures can just change the canvas of the way our students are thinking and how they're taking SDGs, right? So this is one engineering thing. Yeah, I have it. All right. The next is economic pathways. Another interesting thing, if you see these two girls, very simple, humble start to their career. One studied economics at LSR, the other studied economics at Xavier's. Now just imagine the umbrella of economics. One is right now in sustainable fashion as an industry, and the other one is with climate change in the US. She was right now in Delhi, in fact, talking to all the who's who of the country, how to manage the climate change in India. So what I want to tell you is that after studying economics at LSR, Lavanya went to Yale to study development economics. And there, just one professor changed her life. He just took her for a basic visit to a factory, a garment factory, where there were two factories. One was sustainable factory and one was absolute commercial factory. There she herself felt the difference between how the workers were treated in sustainable factory and how it was different the other way in the commercial factory. And how much effort and wastage goes into creating one garment. So there, her heart hit that I want to work on SDG 10, reduced inequalities for workers, and SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. And there, right now she's working with Good Business Labs spread out across the globe, and this is an initiative by Yale professors. So this was one. The other thing is climate change. So here she, of course, after economics, she went to University of Arizona to study corporate sustainability, and then at American University to study public policy and environmental studies. What triggered for her was when she was at Xavier's, can you believe it, the professors told her, you have two subjects, sustainability and environment, that you can completely skip. It's not even required for you to study and pass to get the economics degree at Xavier's. And that's what it just intrigued her, that what's in it there, that it's there, but the professor is saying it's not needed. And you know, she was like, this is it. I really want to do this. How can India not think about it? So these are just real case studies, and just see basic, humble Indian background. All our students in India can do these programs and then ultimately, you know, find their own passion and calling. Right, Ambikaa. Oh, of course. So this is also one table that we put across. This is just to let you all know that green degrees are in plenty all over the world. India, I know Vikram is here, I know so many people, I know Ahmedabad University is growing big on sustainability and a lot of humanity programs. So like that, there are so many universities thinking about it. And along with green degrees, now green careers, they're salaried. So if you can see that the salary bracket is absolutely clean. You know, I know as counselors, we need to answer our parents. And this is what will help you answer them. So having the right careers, the right calling, I think my students, all the four I can vouch, they're in a very happy space. They're doing what they want to do and also making an impact. So this is what we really want to work upon as counselors. Yes. Oh, please.
Guys, you're going to get the slides. So, I mean, the resolution on your photographs are not going to be great. You're going to get the slides. The links are there. The QR codes are there. Whatever else you need from us, it's available. So thank you, Khushboo. Thank you, Ramya. This is a topic which is very close to my heart. If anyone knows, for the last 5 years, I've been holding the SDG flag, diversity, inclusion, access. It's really important. For those who don't know, my school covers all socioeconomic stratas. So I have kids who rock up in a Porsche. I also have kids who come walking to school, come rain or sunshine. So it is really important to do this. The other bit is that, okay, let's stick to the slides. I'm going to have 2 slides. I'm going to encapsulate what we have done at our school, what we're developing with the SDG committee at IC3. And again, please stop me if there are any questions here. The goal when we approached this was one simple statement: creative, purpose-driven students with integrity. Eventually, from my counseling office, that's all I want. I want creative students who are purpose-driven and they have integrity. What does that mean? If they're thinking, they're self-inspired, they're motivated, you don't have to push them. You don't have to push them to get deadlines done, right? They're creative, they're thinking, they're curious, they're critical thinking. These are skills that will translate anywhere, anytime in the world. The second is purpose-driven. With an information overload, with the amount of access, with the amount of money these kids have, I mean, think back to your own childhoods. We did a lot with a lot less. And now they have so much more, but there's apathy, there's numbness, they don't care. So how do you develop that spark in that baby, right? So purpose-driven. And when somebody is hooked, guys, there is a difference in the quality of conversation in your counselor's office. You're welcome to come. I have a small little office. The tiles are of literally 3 different decades are on the floor. But it doesn't matter because the quality of conversations. So I'm speaking to all the young counselors here who are starting off and they feel, oh, I don't have that 10 lakh budget, and I'm sorry to pick on you, but I don't have a Dhiru Bhai kind of office, and I don't have people jumping on, into my room. It doesn't matter. What matters is the energy and the authenticity that you sit there with. And listen, you're joking. Sometimes my printer has to go to my admin because, hers is overheated and she's scanning documents. We're sharing a printer, it goes up and down. It's okay. What is important is the conversation. And I come back to this. I have actually written this down on a Post-it and it's under my table, that all I need to do every day is to help them be more creative, help them be more engaged, and make sure integrity exists. Academic integrity is critical. We are losing it as a country. We're losing integrity and authenticity as a counseling practice, and we're losing it as an industry. So these are difficult conversations. You may not like being called out, but guys, these are conversations we need to be having. We're crafting the engineers, the doctors, the space scientists of tomorrow. And if we don't do it with integrity, it's not going to happen, right? So point number 1 was the goal. That is our goal. So please feel free to adopt it, copy, paste. I've also copied it from somebody. Next, alignment. A commitment. It starts at your counselor's office. You need to know what the SDGs are. You need to know there are 17 of them. You need to know there are 194 countries. If you don't know it, please reach out. Please tell us, just text one of us, text the IC3 Committee on Sustainability. You want a session, we'll get it organized. You want us to do a session in your school, we'll do it. You want your kids to join one of our sessions, hey, don't do the work, just leverage. Be somebody who's sitting on a dolphin, on the wave, there's no problem. So the commitment starts in your office. I'll give you 2 examples. One of our dear friends, Samir, I don't know if you've seen him. He's now at Shivnadar, he shaved his head. I don't know if you know the story. He actually has a lot of hair, but he shaved it off because he's going to spend a year of the money and whatever he spent on barbers and shampoos, etc. And he's going to put, and the time that he's saving, he's donating. And so children actually, yeah, really, because you see that shows a lack of vanity and it shows a commitment, and children believe what you do more than what you say. So if you're like, oh guys, we need to be sustainable, but then you're calling these plastic bags and the takeaway has all those spoons, they're not going to believe it. They're going to model what you're doing physically. The next thing is your senior management. Are they committed? And if they're not, these are small conversations. It has been 5 years in the making in my school. I still don't talk about it on social media. So that's my other recommendation to you. Don't start, hey, let me tell everybody about it. No, just do the groundwork, do it in your schools. The work will result in amazing projects. It will result with the kids doing amazing things. And that work will automatically speak for itself. And I know we have a lot of people who advocate sharing. First, do it yourself. Have something concrete to share, and then share. And then speak to people who are at your level and people who are doing things at different levels. The next is the parents. Now, I don't know about you. Could I see a show of hands? Where is the struggle with the parents? How many of you struggle with having new age conversations with parents? Right? Because my child has to be a doctor engineer. It's still happening in my school. So if it's happening in my school, I just figure that if it's happening in my school, it's happening in every school. That's how it is. The thing is, with the parents, what we've started doing is I highlight the viability. Why is sustainable careers or green guidance viable? And I give them examples of what kids are doing, exactly what Khushboo told you. Right? So you could have gone, you don't have to go to a Yale at the beginning of life to make it in green. Look at that kid. Somebody went to Xavier, somebody went to LSR, and look at where they're working today. Those are aspirational stories. So one is visibility. The second is stability. We have to talk through data. I'm an ex-banker, you guys know that. So I use numbers to convince. I don't try and convince through, hey, because so-and-so said it. No, here are the numbers. So if you looked at the last slide, let me just pop back. You might say, hey, $34,000 is not a lot, but people who have worked abroad will realize that you start off between 30 and 80,000 bucks, okay, all inclusive when you graduate from college. Very few get the 120 and 250. And I assure you, very few people are getting the $500,000 starting off when they're 23, 24 years old. It takes a couple of years to get there, right? And if you show them that from 40,000 to 120,000, stable jobs which are relevant in the future, that's one. The second data point we use is 7 out of 10 careers don't exist today. The ones that are going to be relevant in the future. Again, if I told you 15 years ago that you can have a tablet, a television that goes anywhere and I can watch an Israeli series the minute it is, unveiled in Tel Aviv, you would think I was smoking up. You'd be like, she's on drugs, right? But I'm not. 15 years in, we have the iPad, and sitting here, we're collaborating with I don't know how many countries across the world. We're having conversations. So the future is amazing. It is intense. It's going to be so fast-paced. And honestly, we don't know, and the parents don't know. So the only thing we can do is equip them with skills, and we can equip them with thinking and the ability to take various things that are coming at them and amalgamate them into something relevant. Am I making sense? Sorry, I get really carried away, as you can tell on this topic, right? So I'm just coming back to the parents. I've just written my notes, so I just stay on point. 1, highlight the viability. Talk about stability. And last, talk about skills and workforce readiness. Please become counselors who talk about skills and workforce readiness. And you'll be like, Ambika, what does that have to do with the UN SDG? Everything. This is what it is about. The UN is not just sitting there to do, pontificate, men in ivory towers. I call them scratchy beard conversations, like these men who are sitting and saying, oh, this is what we should do with the world. No, that's not what it is. They're trying to help us be more peaceful, prosperous, and stable. And we are helping our students get to a world which is worth living in, yaar. I mean, these kids don't have a great childhood these days. Let me be honest. I'm very happy I had the childhood I had, right? Okay, so that's point number 2. Oh, right. Parents is covered. Now behavior. They model your behavior. And what are you doing to align the student's behavior to sustainability? That's number 2. Number 3, let's talk about showcasing. Now, this is something which is very big and it's very popular these days. But let's talk about relevance and prosperity. Let's talk about the countries like Sweden and Finland, where you have universal health and you have universal care. These are the kind of places our kids should be wanting to go to and study and emulate. If you look at the top 5 indicators of prosperity and peacefulness, we're not there, right? How do we take our 1.3 billion population there? And I know you're like, buddy, let me handle my 100 kids in school, Ambika. Like, let the 1.3 billion be. That's not it. If each one of us are impacting 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000 kids, imagine the exponential effect that it'll have, right? So it's a tidal wave, guys. Next, positive reinforcements. So this is what we do tactically in school, the blogs, the clubs, at the assemblies. We call out the kids who are doing things which are sustainable in nature. I'll repeat that. It is very small steps. In your blogs, in your magazine, in your school clubs, in your own posts, celebrate the kids and genuinely celebrate them. Don't be like, oh, I'm so cool because I guided this kid like this. No. It's like, wow, that kid is amazing. He came up with this on his own, and I am humbled that this child who's 17, like Mozart who was 12, wrote those 38 variations in 44 minutes. Anil told us yesterday, right? Please understand, everyone can see through intent. My intent is clear here. I am passionate here. It's showing through. Yeah, I'm also calling out myself as well as you. Children are smarter than us. Don't tell them that. But they are smarter than us, and they will read your intent. So when you're glamorizing them, Khushboo likes this word, when you're glamorizing them, glamorize them. Glamorize their positive reinforcement. Don't glamorize yourself. Please, I request you, this is very, very important. I'm seeing a trend in our industry, and it's not going to serve our kids well if we keep on saying, hey, I'm so great. No, babies, you're amazing. Go out there, do something. Because when you're amazing and there are 5,000 of my amazing kids out there, yeah, then I'm amazing, right? So that's showcasing. Let's talk about data and partnerships because, what is life without data? The little nerd in me is like, so look at my face, it's gleaming now. Okay, so what gets measured gets improved. And you're like, Ambika, please, I already do, updates to my senior management and how many admits I've gotten and how many Ivy Leagues did I get and what was the result ratio and blah, 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 whatever. So everyone has their own KPIs. No, I'm asking you simple things. When you're having a conversation, let's say, how many of you do more than 10 sessions a year that you conduct? Not that you're asking somebody else or, hey, let me lean back and ask Jitin, let me ask Minder to come and do a session. They might be great, but how many of you do more than 10 sessions with your batches a year? Can I see a show of hands? Okay. How many do more than 20? How many do more than 40 sessions? Okay. So last year, not including last year, but the years before that, we do a total of about 110 sessions. It is very intense, out of which 1/3 I make sure I do. And I don't have slides for everything. I normally have one page, and I talk through. And it's an open workshop, so it's not me talking down. It's about me listening to what they want, what the parents want. It's literally questions on a slide. If you attended our pre-conference, how many of you guys were there at the pre-conference? You saw our slides, right? There were questions, and we were just like, okay, get back to us. So what gets measured gets improved. There's a lot of resources. All universities are committed to sustainability, guys. Maybe because they have to because it's cool, or maybe because they're just decent institutions and they believe in what we're doing, right? So please, there is this amazing place. I'm just going to read out there. MIT Sloan has this aggregate confusion project. First, I mean, how clever. Aggregate confusion project. So collective confusion. Fantastic. Okay. They are researching to improve the quality of ESG measurement and decision-making in the financial sector. Because it's Sloan, it's business, and their project shows methodologies of doing this. There's also another one which is doing biodiversity accounting. So how do you quantify an environmental impact of your business? Now, these are things which are relevant. You could be a BBA student, it matters. Right? You could be a chemical engineering student, it matters. So do that. The next is the educator community, which is us. We're here today. Thank you for turning up. We were expecting 2 tables, right? Confess. Come on, you guys. Yeah, we made people move thinking there'll be 2 tables because, we're thinking this is a dry topic. Not everybody will be interested. So thank you for turning up. Thank you for listening. And thank you for taking this forward. I'm expecting everybody will take 2 or 3 things forward into their schools. Have that difficult conversation, help a friend out, or reach out to one of us. We're more than happy to help. Right? How are we for time, guys? Okay. Oh, look at you. Okay, so thank you. So in the educator community, there is a lot of resources available. I'm going to plug our committee here right now. There is a Sustainable Development Committee, guys. We're going to be reinstating it after IC3. Please join, even if you have 4 hours a month. If you have 2 days a year, join. Learn for free, but join, contribute, come and do projects with us, right? And the last is diversity and perspective. This is very, very important. We're increasingly connected. Boundaries have vanished. COVID has shown us that. The NEP is showing us over time, those streams are going to vanish. Everything is connected. Facebook today hires economists who have a psychology degree because consumer behavior is what makes the... So it is very important that when you put groups together, and this is my favorite, don't let friends sit together. Don't let the clever kids sit together. Shake them up. No, it is very important. We didn't do it right now, but I'm like, get a... That's wonderful. You're already there. You're tick mark on one, right? The other thing is, I see a lot of this, especially in the larger, sort of more competitive schools, is, hey, global leadership, Ambikaa, where's the global leadership? I don't care. I want to see local initiative. Okay? Show me local initiative, show me real, and that counts. And year after year after year, with the thousands of kids I've sent abroad to amazing universities, we have proven that global leadership is, yes, amazing. You win the NASA competition in Conrad and blah, blah, blah. Yes, we do. It's a fact. But not all my kids do that, right? The other ones are doing things in their communities. So it's very important to do that. And to Khushboo's point, exposure matters. So a professor took that girl to a factory, and it clicked something, and look at where she's working today. Prachir is the one who had the lung problem. Am I right? Yeah, so suffered personally, so exposure matters. So that's basically my slide. Please just list that down. It's, are you doing, let me read from here, why am I? Goal, creative, purpose-driven students with integrity. Please imbibe, if you want to write your own, please do. I've copied it. It works for me. Next, alignment. Align yourself, align your management, align your behavior and your speech to what you're doing. Next, showcase. Show the relevance, highlight that stuff. And partnerships. I'm going to call out Vikram. I'm sorry, you're the only yellow badge holder, I think, here. Yeah, only yellow badge holder. Ahmedabad University, those of you who don't know, please grab him after the meeting. And they have an amazing program. Azim Premji has just started a four-year program. So you will see increasingly, oh, sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Okay, great. Azim Premji has started. So I'm glad Ramya told me that. So 2 yellow badge holders, guys. So right here in this room, you've got people who are committed and they are investing in curriculum, in professors, before your students have paid for it. At the end of the day, business, I mean, college is a business, right? They have to make money. But before they have got students, they are committing on this path. And that is amazing. Could we just have a round of applause for the 2 universities, please? Thank you. And so that's sort of my summary slide. And then you'll be like, oh, Ambika, that's great, but what about stuff we can really do in my counseling office? Okay, here you go. 3 points on the left, 3 points on the right. On the left, exposure and experience. This is institutional. What does that mean? As an institution, as an office, this is what you can drive. Talk, invite an expert. You don't have to be an expert at everything. Invite an expert, an energy, a water, a social justice expert to your school to come and speak to the students, right? Number 2, magazine or your clubs. Does everybody have at least one magazine in school? Yeah, can I see a show of hands? Everybody who has a magazine, can I see? Magazine, blogs, clubs, something. So please don't write yourself. Get 3 kids to go and interview a farm-to-table person, or somebody who's a sustainable fashion brand, or an advocacy expert, or a zero-waste chef. Because all of these things are happening in every city. And get them to interview it, write an article, put it in your... Do you see what I mean? Create that effect. Next, strengthen your counselor's office. Develop your own green resources. Conduct your own green workshops. Take ownership. I know you think it sounds a lot, but it has a multiplier effect down the line. So this is what on the left-hand side is what we can do as an office. On the right-hand side is what the kids can do. And yes, it helps with profile building, but that aside, it helps with character building, right? Which is competitions, internships, and projects. You can establish a green club. You can raise funds for, say, air quality meters in school. And then somebody can do a project on that information. Somebody can do SPSS analysis on that information. Next, you can set up a carpooling thing. You can encourage participation in sustainability competitions. So I've just listed 3 at the bottom. But there are, I think, over 40 odd sustainability competitions that are happening. You don't want to do the research? Doesn't matter. You've got that one little kid in the school who's a little enthusiastic on research, who talks really well on LinkedIn or Instagram. Find that kid. Get that kid to put this resource list together and circulate it and say, credit so-and-so. Don't take the credit. Let the child do it. Send it out. When one child sees, oh, so-and-so's document has gone out with their name on it, I also want to. Next, 5 other kids will be volunteering. Be clever on the resources you have. Guys, I have a 0 budget office. I have 0 staff. We still manage. Thank you. Thanks, Vikram. You have to learn to use the resources you have. Don't complain. What you have, there's a lot out there that you can take from. And the last is shadow a sustainability expert at work. So these are things that kids can do. So on the right, what the kids can do. On the left is what the institution can do. Who's doing this?
Let's just open it up.
Yeah, we'll open it. Oh, okay, so just one quick thing then, if we're... We'll skip, I'm just, okay. So this is, big change starts small. I know I'm a tall, big person, but I started this really small, in a very small office with very little knowledge. Okay, so big change starts small, and look at us today, talking to maybe 100, 200 people, making hopefully impact into 1,000 kids today. And this is amazing, not because we're standing here, because I know next year and the year after that, you guys will be here, and we will be listening to you. So please, just start small, but start, don't stop. And the next thing is, these are things that you can do at home. Save electricity, switch off the lights, don't leave the AC on. When you're not using a computer, don't shut it down. Like, don't put the lid down, literally shut it down. Stop paper statements, take bills online. Air dry your clothes, air dry your hair. She gave me her Dyson in the morning to get my look, but she air dried hers. Take shorter showers. Now, these are things kids can do. So commit, buy minimally packaged products, change your Zomato, Swiggy settings. I've done this. So when I order in stuff at school and I have a water bottle, like we're not drinking from these.
By the way, this is my pet peeve. I have
Yeah.
IC3 this. I hate this.
Yes.
When during the pre-conference, I knew we were at a school with a cooler, so I made her also carry here. And I didn't know in the hotel where to do it, so I'm forced to, it's just like, I feel this is awful. This is awful.
Yeah.
As a group,
Yeah.
we need to say no.
Just say no. And you can. Guess what? You know, consent matters. We're saying no to this. Use refillable water. So, I mean, I'm just showing you, okay, here. Anyone who enjoys a nice cocktail at the end of the day? Sometimes there are ice cubes left over because you've gulped the cocktail. What do? Don't chuck the ice cube. Rinse it out, throw it into a plant. I'm saying little things you don't even realize, but little behavior that changes. Okay? And I'm not being a green Nazi here, but it matters. And it will matter because this is not a planet that we want to give and leave to our children. Just please, guys, commit. And we're really, really grateful that you're here today to hear us. Now, floor is open.
No, this lady's passion is what has really brought us together. Like Khushboo also said, we attended her, and that's why I also joined the Sustainable Development Committee at IC3. We urge you all to come and join. There's nothing as a, we only have so many members or anything. Everybody come join. Your ideas are most welcome. We're trying to work on more initiatives that we can do. But we'll open it up now because we've spoken enough.
Yeah, we've spoken.
But she really is amazing.
Stop it.
Contagious passion. And I'm not just saying that because she's my friend. Anyway, Q&A, please. Any questions?
Any questions, guys?
And online too will monitor. You take this.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, could I request questions first and then lots of shares? We'll stay back for everything. Just give me. Any questions, guys? How do you join the committee?
I know. Okay, I'm doing the IC3 involved session. Please come and attend that. It's from 2 to 3. I'll tell you all about it.
Brilliant plug, Khushboo. I appreciate it. Sales and marketing right here. Outreach committee at work, people. Okay, but which room?
Okay.
Brilliant work,
We'll just
Khushboo.
check that.
The app, another plug.
Yeah.
for all this stuff.
Okay, so in
Getting
addition to,
involved.
yes, joining the session,
2 to 3.
please just reach out to anyone. Info at IC3, at IC3, go online
2A.
and volunteer.
It's 2A.
Literally, right.
Getting
And it's at
involved.
2A.
2A.
2
2
p.m.
to 3 p.m.
2 p.m. 2A. Really easy. 2 to 2. Okay. Thank you for asking. Anybody else for questions before we have ma'am? Nope. Okay. I like this, but I actually don't. I'm used to a school where the questions and hands go up.
Okay, it's really nice to see you, Ambika, being so passionate. I'm another one here, and the whole team, because we are a school based in Kutch, and we are a green school. Last 20 years, I'm crusading, and it's a marathon task, but we managed to convert the community now. I'll just share a little example. It's a mission. It's called Sachet Nagrik Paryavaran Rakshak, because we are a Gujarati, and English is not so much. Of course, it's an English medium school, which I represent. But there was this kund, a heritage water body, and it was filthy. So we took it on. This was just before the pandemic. And we had a team of dancers who are reviving water bodies come in from Baroda. We had an annual program there. I literally fought with the archaeological department. It is under the archaeological department. And we took it on to clean that kund. The school did it with our little resources. I got a lot of backlash from my family. And of course the parents, nobody was supporting us. But it was something which was disturbing me. And so we cleaned that kund without the Nagar Palika, just with extra payments to the Nagar Palika bodies. And today, they're lighting diyas in the kund and celebrating Water Day there or Heritage Revival.
Amazing.
And this is a small little mission. There's lots more, but I won't take up time.
Can I request, could you just write this down as a case study? We'll put it in the white paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a
Consolidating all these little examples,
A-
because she might spark something in your brain.
And this little water body is connected to the main source of a lake there, which was a garbage dump, and they're trying to construct shops inside. So we have been crusading for that, and today with the good rains in Kutch, the entire lake is full. So people have come around to support our little school, and they're doing the work on their own. And they just go around cleaning the town. So the next mission is garbage. We are working, but we don't have financial support. And that is what is, the restraint when you have a heart like this, and how do you go around doing this? Another thing, it's a flash on your screen. We started peace education this year. There's a body called HWPL. They do free peace educators training. Do join in with them. And it's wonderful mission. We just launched it this year, and it's going to sensitize the children, the future generation.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So any other questions?
Any other questions? Yes.
Hi, I'm Nupur from City Montessori School, Lucknow, and I want to share a similar experience in our school. Our school started a project called Blue Nudge Project. I'm not sure if others are aware about it. And since City Montessori is a big chain of a school in Lucknow, so in all our campuses, we are collecting this single-use plastic. Every week, it's a project for students. They collect it, and they get points for that. And all that plastic that we collect, we send it to UN, and they recycle it into plastic furniture. And that's how we are utilizing and bringing awareness among the students.
Lovely.
So there's the other thing I noticed is there is a bent towards climate change, because that's what media is covering, and Ramya and I were discussing it in the car. There's a lot of bent towards climate change. But could we just go back to that colorful slide? There are multiple aspects to sustainability. I think it's like first and midway through. Yeah. Sorry. There are multiple aspects to sustainability. So yes, climate change is a great one. And when Ramya was talking about it, they're looking at climate change, they're looking at education, but there are gender equality, clean water sanitation, responsible consumption and production. There are a lot of things that we can be doing in our own lives. Please do self-reflection. The second bit is we're developing an inventory to see where counselors stand and help you understand this. So when this goes out, we don't know how to reach out to you, perhaps through ICT we'll figure that out. But please just watch out for this inventory so we can get an understanding of where you need help. And I'm not saying this from a looking down point of view. It's like, what do we need to do, guys? It's like a common conversation. And then the other one, which is number 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institutions, as well as, give me a second, reduced inequalities, which is 10, and gender, and 17. Okay, so 5, 10, 16, 17. Over the last year and a half, I've been working on digital citizenship, because the computers have entered your lives and the lives of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and kids who are in kindergarten have a screen in front of them, and there are manifold repercussions on this, right? We're not even appreciating what's going to happen. COVID is not going to end now. COVID, the repercussions of this, we're going to see for the next 10 years. I don't know about you, but my kids who are coming into classrooms, in grade 12, they have the mental and the social emotional quotient of a grade 9 or grade 10 kid. They're not there yet. They're not college ready, let alone work ready. Right? So that's one thing to think about, and we're talking about this. So these are few things that we're doing. There are actually a lot of other things. We don't want to announce them because that's unfair to the people who are going to be announcing them. But just please keep a lookout, and please connect with us. I know these guys are social beasts. So
I just want to put a plug for...
Yeah.
Can we talk about the white paper?
Yeah. Go
Okay,
for it.
so the Sustainable Development Committee is unveiling a white paper. I'm not sure when that's happening, but we've, that has case studies as well. And please do read that. I think Srijal also, after that.
Yeah, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm from Meridian School, Madhapur, Hyderabad. We have started a drive called Plastic Not Fantastic in our school. And this is something, making paper bags, it's very common. Everybody, they do it. But what we have started, that we have started talking to children. And we have told them that you go and talk to the community, every society, they have their committee office. And every society has vendor, flower vendor, these vendors. And every day, they, hang in a small polythene bag flowers at every door. So what we have told that, every community, just find out all the Meridianites, every day sit for 1 hour and make paper bags. and go and tell them that we are gifting it to you. So just, have 60 bags per week, give it to them and tell them that, instead of using those plastics, give it in the bag and give it at all the doors. So that's how we have started. We have made PPT, it is a kind of drive that, we have started from grade 1 to grade 12. And our students, they have made PPT, they have taken session for students. And it was something, that in every community, children have made paper bags and they have given to the vendors. They are society vendors, and they all were so happy, and parents, they came and said, ma'am, this is something, every day they are saying we are going down, but today we are going to make paper bags. So this is something that we, I wanted to share this thing with you. Thank you so much.
Shrija.
Hi. This is a fantastic session. I truly loved it. Ambika, love your passion. So I represent, I'm the founder of the school called Sparkling Minds in Bangalore, and we run missions with our students, change-making missions, and it is part of their day-to-day life experiences. So when we started out this whole thing, we got them to segregate the waste at school, literally with their hands. Yeah, I know, you. And they didn't start like that. In fact, they said, there is no problem. They said this problem belonged to somebody else, and we are perfect. Right, so we took them to the landfill, which is actually filling up very fast close to our school. It's called a place called Mitagnahalli. You can actually smell the stench right from 10 kilometers away. It's that bad. And then they were like, we are doing this? These waste trucks are coming from our place? They're like, no. But we segregate our waste. How is this getting mixed up, right? This is not working out. And then we let waste not segregate in the school for some time. And the act of separating it really got them thinking. That then led to a lot of initiatives. In fact, they did a quick data analysis and they figured out that the biggest waste that comes in school is chocolate wrappers from the birthday celebrations. So they have pledged that they will not bring chocolates to school.
Wow.
They bring dates instead, and there is another committee which is working on food. This is called SM, they're calling it SM Plates, and they're creating healthy snacks out of jaggery and dates and dry fruits to sell to these students and creating business opportunity in that process. And there is a mission called Child Vulnerability that we are running, which covers a lot of the work that you're doing, and they work on empathy. So as soon as children come into school, they spot children who need empathy, and they offer empathy to those students. And all of this is part of something that we're working on. I'm going to do a plug for our session from 2 to 3 at GA on how to develop motivation in students. So please do come. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Ambika, I had actually a comment and a question.
Yes, sir.
So I'm Vikram. I'm from, as she said, Ahmedabad University. I think some of these things, right, discussions on ethics or discussions on sustainability, I think these aren't subjects that can be taught in seclusion. Ethics, you're taking decisions every day. You're taking decisions in a physics class, in a math class, in a communications class, in an advertising class. So I think as universities, some of us, what we do is sustainable, or ethics, for instance. Every decision that you take, you are putting a compass saying, is this right, and to what degree can I actually take this decision in a more ethical way or in a more sustainable way? So the question really for schools is, many of you follow the local boards, which is CBSE, which is ISC. I know that international schools do a lot more effort in bringing thinking into everything they do. How are CBSE schools bringing in awareness? How are you promoting this, not just by the career counseling office, but how are schools otherwise doing this? And some examples I've heard, but is there a way in which you can create a model and that can be shared actually not just with your school, but with schools across, and simple things that can be done?
They want to share
So yes, we've got, could you just stand up so I know which ones are answering Vikram's question? So Vikram, here's what, we've already created the Green Warriors, and you cannot pin me down on this question. So I am going to hand the mics over. Same school. So.
Yeah, both of us are from the same school, Silver Oaks International School. I just wanted to read out our mission statement, the school's mission statement. To integrate into teaching and learning, the goals were conservation and social justice, to develop civic virtues and emotional skills that can empower our icons are our students, to be icons of personal and social change who will play leading roles in the transition to a sustainable future.
Wow. That is commitment. That's amazing.
I'm from Silver Oaks. Yeah. And I wanted to tell you one of our policy, that is stationery policy, where our students are not carrying their stationery in those plastic boxes to the schools. Stationery is available in the classes. So here they use the stationery from the class. They need not carry their plastic boxes, which means about 3,000 to 6,000 plastic boxes are not being produced to sustain this, to have a sustainable practice.
Just 1 second, time's up, so I'm going to ask Vikas. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I don't mean to cut. We've been given short. Just let's get that one item. Yes. Can I? No, but can Vikas speak? Yes. Okay, guys.
It is the networking break after this, so you can continue to, we can continue this
for like 5
conversation.
minutes. Would that be okay? Can I put you on the spot then?
I think it's fine.
That's okay. I think let's all network now. The session is over. We were all networking.
No, so we can continue.
So
Yeah.
I'll finish in 2 lines. I just got disheartened because Vikram said CBSE school, and we have preschool to 12th. We have Seva program, which is integrated with EVS, sciences, social sciences, and what content they are doing, we are building that through skills. Every class is doing a Seva program, which they carry next year and they carry next year. So a complete plan is made to work with the NGOs and how the kids are looking at different aspects according to their age. And I'm done. Thank you.
I'm just quickly going to take
Yeah.
when you're ready, and if you want to anonymize it a little bit, put it into a one-pager,
Yeah.
share it with us. If you're okay with
100%.
other people copying,
Yeah.
because the more they copy, the better it gets, guys.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Some of our style
Yeah.
and fashion statements are also copied. Some of the great music in Bollywood is also copied. Okay, so 1 second, I want to just answer Vikram's statement. Vikram, for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working on something. And you've known me well enough to know that I just wanted to get to a point where I'm happy to talk about it. The idea is to build it, then replicate it in DPS schools. Yay, DPS. And then take it bigger. What it needs is time, energy, and resources. The energy I have, the resources we can muster, the time is the problem. Yes, sir.
Just a small project that we did with the Sikkim state. The state of Sikkim is rewriting their textbooks to incorporate SDGs.
Wow.
So that's one. It's a small state, tiny there, but you could look at, and they're planning to make it public for other boards to look into.
Yeah, even the other SDG session that Otio
No, it's the
took.
foundation's work, not the university.
So one more submission, since you mentioned about the textbook. The other SDG session that I attended from the chair of SDG, so he, in that session, I think Flames University has also come up with some, some poems, some paragraphs, some stories, all about SDGs. I mean, stories, little stories, right from math to economics to English literature, but the content is based on SDG. So that's one very important thing that you guys can take back with and give it away to teachers to use that in the classrooms.
May I just make one request? You guys, and ma'am, after that, you have feedback forms. What we really like is for you to flip it at the back and give us any topics that you would like the committee to create content on. What is it that you'd like? So thank you for saying, yeah, it was not too bad. These guys did okay, and that's fine, etc., etc. But at the back, flip it and just write down anything that you'd like us to cover and online.
Yeah, I mean, that was just comments on how they can get involved. But also, we have the Sustainable Development Committee Facebook page. I think it would be great if you guys join, and we'll share the link. But please join and share all these stories there, because that's a
Okay. So I just want to share another thing which we all can start as the minute you go back home, you start composting at home and teach it to the children. Our children have been teaching it to their parents, and then they're going out in the community, we're converting the vendors, shopkeepers, the societies around, and trying to bring about change.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I would like to answer Mr. Vikram's question. As we are a CBSE school, sir, we are into art integration at all the levels. Plus, ours is a underprivileged school, so we have tried cost reduction as in wherever it is possible. For transportation, we have not opted for private buses. We have transport by ST buses, like from the local transport. Cost reduction is seen at, like, we reuse the book for maximum of 3 years. We are collaborated with Cambridge University, so the books can be reused. And plus, we have a special club during Ganesh festival where our children are making eco-friendly Ganpatis, and we see to it that they use at their places as well, and they distribute in others, like in their neighbors. So we are happy, and the parents are even happy to use, as the children have made the idols. So they are very happy to use the same.
Great,
Thank
you so much. So, Vikram, I think all the schools are starting small, taking little steps. These are small schools, we are all small schools taking small steps for a bigger goal. So Namita says these are big steps, and I'm sure Ambika will come up with a bigger plan. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for staying back all through. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I know.
All of you all here. We are just waiting for some more people, if in case they come in. We are good to go with all of you, those who are here quite early. We appreciate your time, okay? And we appreciate you being over here, because it's something very special to us. So we would like to take it forward here. I think, shall we wait for another 5 minutes? What do you say? Yeah? We should start? Okay. So I think when people come in, let them join. So we shall start, yeah?
Ready? Okay, everybody, I think we can begin. Michelle, you want to do your little thing?
So this is Michelle De Silva, and I'm from Silver Oaks International School, Mighty Oaks campus. Okay, and I'm a career counselor, and I counsel students on the academic, on the behavioral, so much of things that we do with students, and sometimes they are our counselors actually. It's not that always that we have to give them. I always found them to be very supportive to us, going through tough times, not that all the time we go through good times, there are students who always support us. And this is Dermot.
Hi, I'm Dermot. I'm a leadership teacher in Silver Oaks, Bachupali, and which basically 21st century skills, okay? And recently I joined with Michelle and the 4th cohort. We just graduated yesterday, and I come from Ireland originally, from Dublin, and I'm happy to be here. Okay, Michelle?
So we are as, excited to do this because we thought we should do something not from the mind, from our heart, okay? So the topic which we have taken is that career counselors as inquiry facilitators, okay? So before we even start, I know it's in the afternoon, so we all, must be full. We must be drooping also sometimes. We feel little thing. So I'm going to just say some things. You just need to do the opposite of that. Are you ready for that?
This will wake you up.
So I'm going to tell you what I tell you. You just do the opposite of that. No. You're sure about that, Vishal? So no. I like that. Okay. So I don't think so. You have to sit very tight. Loosen up yourselves, because you have to stand up, okay? You need to stand up. Lift your right hand up. Better watch out for others, huh? Shake your left leg and shake it nicely, okay? And you need to wave with your left hand. And just don't wave like this. At least look at somebody there around you. Or you just stare at them. Just stare at them. I said do the opposite of what I said, okay? Be very careful, do the opposite of that. You look at them very seriously at the person on the right side. You look at that person on the right side. I told you to smile, right? No, I told you to stare. So what do you do? Okay, then you lift your right arm up and at the same time shake your left leg. Lift your right arm up and at the same time shake your left leg. Okay? So shake it nicely because the tummy in your stomach should get digested. Okay? Shake your right leg and wave with the left and do not wave with both hands. And just turn and stare at others. Any side. Turn and stare at them. So what is the opposite of stare? Smile. Huh? You can smile or you don't think. Okay, please sit down. Okay. We just wanted to do this because ideas just pop up sometimes. We have the right brain and the left brain, right? So this is a coordination. Sometimes when we are sleeping, when we tell the students, when we ourselves do it, we get energized actually because it just strikes your brain, you know? So you have to stimulate the neurons in your brain. So
yeah, so anybody here who's did the IC3 training, residential weeks, remember 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd be falling asleep. So just try and wake ourselves up a little bit. Okay, so basically this is us, this is myself, this is Michelle. And what we did, one of the great things we did with the career counseling IC3 training, the flagship program, they have a thing called Career Laboratory. And the Career Laboratory is where you actually reach out with the students and get them to do some research on their own. And we just found it really, really fascinating, and it gave us an awful lot of insights. And we're going to share a kind of an overview of that, and also how it ties into career counseling in general, and how we should really be inquiry facilitators. And we're going to share a little overview and some of our insights, and hopefully you get some takeaways which will be useful for you in your own school. Okay?
If you look at this picture, it's a traditional pedagogy. Pedagogy is nothing but the teaching, right? So if you just look at this picture for a second, just take a look at it. As you take a look at that, I want you to tell me, what do you see, what do you feel, and what you think? Okay? So you don't have to be right or wrong. You can just express yourself. So someone would like to say, what do you see? Conversation between the teacher and the student, or the counselor. So are the teachers talking or the students listening? They're just listening.
Listening, yeah.
They're just listening, right?
Yeah.
So someone can tell about what I think. One-way communication. Because if you look at that, it's just like a robot where we just sit there. We're just delivering something. Okay? It's their life, yes, absolutely. It's their life, their choices. Okay? So if you look at the screen, this is exactly what most of us, you or me or any of us do that. You know, we are experts, and we want to give the best of the knowledge to them. Whatever we have, we want to just blot out everything to them, right? What do you think? I see, I feel. What do you feel? All these three are different. I see, I think, I feel. What do you feel? Someone? Counselor's angry, maybe at home, maybe fought with the husband. Some misunderstanding or running like a rat race in the morning. Never know how our mood is, right? In the mornings when you get up. Not that all of us are jumping up from the bed and just coming there, to work. We have our own struggles, all of us. So this is exactly the traditional pedagogy. I believe that looking at the IC3, there is a methodology in how you handle things. We want the students to be, the approach should be student-centric. It's not teacher-centric. We are there as inquiry facilitators. And that's exactly what we did, okay? So coming to the next one, we're just going to go to the menti.com. It's very simple. You need to do the opposite of what I tell you, okay? Don't look at the phone. Don't use your phone. Don't go into menti.com. menti.com. Don't go into your mobiles. Okay? Don't go into menti.com. MENTI. Did you go into it? The code.
Yeah, you got a code?
You tell the code.
Okay. God. Where's the code? Oh, 54876041. 54876041. Okay, you all got that? Okay, what you want them to do, Michelle?
So what I would like you to do is that in the menti.com with the code, when you enter, it asks about what are the qualities of a career counselor. So you all are a part of being in the counseling, interacting with students. Just one word.
You voted, did you?
So you're talking about your own self actually. Okay? What are the qualities of a career counselor? I want you to reflect on yourself and give that word. And just submit.
Yeah, code is 54876041. See there?
Someone wanting the code?
Yeah.
You can just raise your hand, we'll tell it again.
Yeah.
Did you submit?
You all got the code? Oh, is it? Okay.
It's already on the screen.
Fantastic. Okay.
On the top, you find the code over here.
Yeah.
Okay? That one word, what is the quality of a career counselor? Can you enlarge the screen? This one. If you look at this, all your responses are coming on this, on the Menti meter. Talks about what are the qualities of a career counselor. You know, you want to be a listener, a facilitator, a good listener, knowledgeable. There are so many things that are coming up, right? You could be, if you want to ask your students how you're feeling today, you can even use a Mentimeter. You can use this Mentimeter app for anything that you want to communicate with your children, or you just want to do it on a piece of paper, also perfectly fine, okay? We'll go to the next screen.
So back to the PPT, is it?
Yeah. So these are the responses of what we have seen from all of you. I'm sure that we do go in, are we empathetic listeners? Okay, we are knowledgeable, but are we delivering that to the children? Because our children have different needs. Okay, not all 5 fingers are the same. So different students have different perspectives about what they want to do in our life. Okay, go to the next screen. Second.
PPT. Okay, great. Okay, so counselor as inquiry facilitator. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite a different picture. So we had the previous picture is the counselor is the expert, the students are empty vessels, and the counselor is going to give them their wisdom. Okay, pretty much like if I go to a dentist. Okay, I expect the dentist to fix my teeth, but of course the dentist is not trying to ask me what I want to do for the rest of my life. So what we have here as inquiry, we are interacting with the students and helping them. And so we have to think in terms of, see, there's times when the counselor needs to be an expert. If a student says, how do I apply for colleges in the UK? I need to be an expert. If the student says, what requirements do I have for XYZ college course or career? I have to be an expert. But if I'm always an expert, the issue is I'm either trying to fix the other person, or I might be tempted to project my prejudices onto them, okay? So fixing, of course, is things like, let's say a boy comes in, he's very good at maths, he says, I have no idea what I want to do, but I'm very good at maths. And I think he's a boy, he's good at maths. Hey, BTech in engineering, you should do computer science. But have I asked him, what do you like? What's your hobbies? What's your interests? What's your passions? It might be that he's something else. So I'm just telling him what to do based on his skill. Another one might be just, do this career, there's good money in it. Okay, again, I'm just going by what's popular. Another thing as well is, I might even have a positive prejudice. So for example, one of my prejudices is that follow your passion. I believe in following your passion. But I'll give you an example. Last week, a girl came to see me, and she says she's very good at science, but she really likes animation. And she's, should you do science? Should she do animation? Now, my prejudice will basically say, well, you know something, follow your passion. Your passion's animation. But I didn't do that. I held back. I wanted to say it, but I didn't do it. And the reason why I didn't do it, I try as best I can to say, let's see what she has to say. And as the conversation went on, she kind of went around back to the thing of, I think I'm better just doing the science and I'll do the animation on the side. Now, I personally believe if you want to be an animator, you should probably do it full time, or a musician. But I shouldn't tell that to her because I'm giving her my prejudice. And this is a very challenging thing. So if we really want to facilitate students as an inquiry facilitator, I have to talk to them. Let's see what insights they come up with. I think that's very, very important.
The decision circle is very, very important. Okay, when we were doing as students, as cohorts, when we did the career counseling laboratory, where Dermot had done on Japan, and I had done on the pedagogical practices around the world in the career counseling. Okay, so you get to know different perspectives of things, how they do in the other countries. Okay, but when you come to the decision circle, this is very important for students to understand what are their passions and interest. You know, sometimes we just blot out, okay, everyone are just taking, say in Telangana, most of them just want to go into taking engineering or medicine, or all the professional traditional pathway courses. So now they are having books, textbooks, which are actually old of like maybe 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. We are still continuing with the same syllabus. But actually in this trend, in the next 10 years, which I was telling you in yesterday, there are 21st century skills which are very, very important. It is changing. So most of the jobs are going to change. The trends are changing. So if we as educators are not aware of the trend in the industry, what kind of skills that our children should have in the next 10 years, how will they cope with this? So it's our responsibility to see that we do widen their knowledge about knowing things. In this decision circle, when we had done the career groups for 32 career counseling groups, so we branched them into 14 subjects. Okay, then we had we had the study destinations as well. Okay, and we took the grade 9 and grade 11. So we had around 297 students, and we did research with each and every one of them. Okay, it was just only 3 of them we can do it with, but we wanted to, widen our capacity that we can do something different. Okay, so over to you, Dermot.
Sure. So basically, when we basically the way it went with the IC3 program, first of all, they gave us a project to do. So I was Japan, Michelle had pedagogy, and what was very useful about that was we learn to do the project ourselves, and then we give it to the students. So the students, we're not giving to something that we haven't done. So that's a very good thing that we're sharing, and we understand the parameters of the process. And we're asked by IC3 to give it to, like, I think 6 groups. But we went to our principal, Sita Murthy ma'am, and she says, you have to do it equally to everybody in 9th and 11th. So that's 260 odds, 297 students. And so the way we had to split it up is between industry and subjects and study locations with a couple of parameters, like we had to have a local industry, which is pharma industry, because that's a big industry around here, Dr. Reddy's labs. We had to have Hyderabad as a study destination, but everything else was up to ourselves, what we did for everything else. So what we did was, for subjects, we just picked the 14 subjects from our school. And so in this case, let's say accountancy, the students have to research accountancy. So remember, this isn't me being the expert. I have to give this project to the students. So we gave 14 groups this project. Industries, we gave 12 industries, randomly picking them really, apart from, as I said, pharma. And study destinations, we just went by where do our students go? And of course, we had to do Hyderabad as well. So that was basically it. And the way it kind of works is that we would go into each class and we would select a group by roll number. Some students, of course, would want to change, and we're very flexible. Both Michelle and myself, our approach is very easygoing. So if somebody wanted to do, say, design, because they like design, yeah, you join the design group. If somebody says, my pal's over there, 9 times out of 10, we'd say yes. So that's basically what happened there. So in each class of 27 students, you have 3 or maybe 4 groups. Now, we had only 4 sessions with the students because we did 2 sessions, and then came a lockdown, and so we could only do 2 more after that. So from a facilitative point of view, we just gave the students the tasks. We didn't stand there and tell them how to do it or what to do. So very much they were doing their own thing, and we were just helping them along a little bit.
Coming to research and exploration, you saw that the different subjects, the destinations, the industries, there were many of them only thought that there's only engineering, doctor, lawyer, or maybe creative arts or humanities. When they came into those subjects, they were like, it's just so huge. Some of them said that, you know, there were subjects which they took up. They were in the groups. They didn't want that beginning. They wanted to change to the other groups. But after that, when they were in the groups, actually, they started liking that subject. They found some interest in that. You know, sometimes for us also it happens, something is very new, we feel very uncomfortable initially. But as we go deeper into it, we feel there is some connection to what we are doing actually. And that's exactly what because we went through that, we understood that. We also wanted the students to experience that maybe they'll have a different perception about things. Okay? Coming here, the research and exploration is very important because you are actually socializing with your friends, with your peers, and you're also listening not only with your peers, with your teachers, with the industry experts, doing interviews with them, and also with your parents and important stakeholders. Yeah.
And a key thing is as well, we didn't tell them what to do. We gave them the task. If they were confused, we talked to them a bit. Especially they might say, for example, food technology. Even we were thinking, what the hell is food technology? We didn't really understand it. So we just helped clarify their doubts. Well, as you see here in this picture, the students are self-organizing themselves.
If you come to data and insights, now once they're doing the research, they're sitting in the group, they're finding ways how to, you know, collaborate with each other. Though we'll have 2 of them agree to the group, 3 of them don't agree to the group, what they say. You know, it happens even in the adult. You know, not that all of us sit there very happily agreeing to each other's views and opinions. Similar way, with students also it was the same. Okay, they have their own perspectives, their own mindset. So coming over here, the language project, it was done by 2 students, Abhinav and Hemacharan. We just picked up from what they did. We just took from there. So they were going into the growth of the languages, and they were trying to understand what is the perspective and the importance of that language. If I'm learning Sanskrit or Telugu, what do I do with that language? What are the careers do I have? Okay, so it's not just only traditional pathways, we are breaking that, we're going into seeing the other perspectives of careers in a language. Okay?
Yeah. So what you actually see back there is they self-organize themselves into different subgroups. Because what we have to do is they have to make a presentation, they have to make a PPT, they have to make a report. This is from the report. Now, before I got into teaching, I used to work in sales. And there's a dictum in sales, and that dictum says, if I say it, it ain't so. If you say it, it is so. What that basically means is you all have a bad salesman who tries to force us to buy something, and we get angry, yeah? But a really good salesperson asks you questions, and then you sell yourself, okay? So if we just give insights to the students, even if they believe it, it just becomes part of their belief system, but it's not their insight. So even if I want a student to have a certain insight, it's better if I give them a task. I know they're going to have the same insight that I have, but they found the insight in their own way. And so the way they researched, we just let them do it. We did not stand on their head. We let them do it their way. Yeah. So yeah, again, collaboration, if we look at that. So we're just collaborating. We're helping them. And again, this is moving away from the expert model. All right? And remember, everything we talk here, we're talking about the decision circle, which is research and exploration, data and insights, and collaboration. And it's not just for this project. It's in general for being an inquiry facilitator, okay? I should work with the students. So I'm not telling them what to do. I'm just working with them. And also we can think in terms of stakeholders. The parents are stakeholders, the students are stakeholders, and we're also a stakeholder. We work together. We don't have to have this conflict of the parents saying one thing, the council saying another thing and the students something else. They're just working together in a collaborative way.
You look at this, the student presentations, though, so we had 32 groups. So they all came, they did the PPTs on their subjects, which they explored. It was student-centric, okay? So they came up with their presentations there. So each of them had different roles to play. Like how we take a group, we have different roles there. So they were proud to present their findings to the entire other crowd of students who were not aware of other careers or other subjects, how their subjects are related to certain careers. Okay, so it was an eye-opener for them.
Also as well, I think very important thing, a decision we made which was good. In general, what we find, because Michelle's doing counseling, I do leadership training, and in general what we tend to find is academics dominates everything and we get squeezed to one side. So we felt that if we got the students to present in public, they would feel some social pressure. And also, I'm a strong believer that the more students present, the more confidence they will have. So one thing is, if I know, like today, I have to present today, I have to be that bit more focused. If it's just in the classroom, the kids just think it's a fun activity and don't bother. But if they know they have to stand in the school auditorium, they're going to try. And they're also going to feel a little bit proud of themselves too. Okay, there's one girl, for example, Joycey, who I was teaching for the last 3 years, and never once, because I do a lot of like group discussions, speeches, she never ever spoke. And here she actually spoke. So I was very impressed. It was something. And we shouldn't get too worried about everybody being like a star. We have a few students and they should be in like TV anchormen, okay? But that's wonderful, but they're going to be a success anyway. It's just this, every student doing something, okay? And not necessarily having all the answers, but we're just giving them some exposure, you know?
If you look at this, the collaboration, research and exploration, okay? So if you look at this, the parents are involved there, the children and the teachers, the students and the teachers are involved there because they just go up to the teachers and ask them questions, not only us. So they were able to collaborate with many others. And this is the data of insights we got from what students have done. So this is just only one of the one click. So we have so many data insights on that.
Yeah, so thing which I think is very important is to give you an example, we used the career laboratory. For us, it was an eye-opener because they did a lot of funny things with us in IC3. I think, is this useful, is that useful? But when we did this, it was really an eye-opener because a lot of the students, for example, with the subjects, they were interviewing teachers and they were interviewing people in Canada, they were interviewing people in Kazakhstan, all over the goddamn place. And they were really excited. The school was buzzing with activity. Because you know, normally with students, they're not buzzing with activity, they're running away from activity, apart from sports and stuff like that. So it's a great example and an insight to us that, wow, if I just give useful interactions with the students, that they'll teach themselves. It's an amazing thing. Because we always think, especially I feel in counseling, it's like we tend to feel inadequate. I don't know enough. I haven't got enough. You don't have to have enough. Let the student find out and we'll work it together as best we can. And something is better than nothing. It won't be perfect, but we do what we can. But we can expand. It's not just for this training. It's also in general, we should be with the students, research. So let's say a student comes to you. Don't just tell them, oh, here's the career. Like for example, when I was a kid, we had a career counselor. You come to the career counselor and just give you an envelope or you get a little leaflet and say, here's your career. He would never interact. We had an IQ test one time. He just gives the results. You're pretty dumb, kid. That was it. Aptitude test. You're really good, really bad. Good luck. It was so passive and expert orientated. But we can use this. So say a student comes in and says, oh, I don't know, I like a career in music. Well, I'll talk to you. I'll give you some research. You will come back with some insights. We will talk again together. And after a while, you can present your research to your parents. Because if your kid comes to you and says, I want a career in music, and they go to the parents, oh, son, you're going to be on the side of the road, starving, oh my God, terrible things going to happen to you, okay? But if they come with loads of research, hey, Dad, I could do like a sound engineer, music technology, I could do this and this and this, you know, I give example, my son's best friend, he lives in Bangalore. He wants a career in music, wants to be a pop star, but he's going to do sound engineering. Now, one, it's kind of in music, but also sound engineering, you're going to go to a lot of gigs, you're going to learn how to produce music, like the sound, and you'll probably be doing a lot of gigging at nighttime, making some books, making connections with other people. So when we get the student to research, data and insights, let's be an inquiry facilitator, and let's talk to the stakeholders, the student, the parents, and you, all together, okay? So, yeah.
Let's go to the, we would like to actually invite 2 students here who are volunteers from our school.
Yeah.
So we would like to hear from them in
Michelle,
a minute's time.
Just 1 second, yeah. So just to remind ourselves, we're going to have some testimony now, but just to remind ourselves, why are we here? Not just why are we here as counselors, why are we here as teachers? Why are we here as educators? And sometimes I think we get into this wheel, like in school, 14 years, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, college, job, good luck. No, the purpose of education is that by age 22, you should be a happy, successful, integrated person. That you're following a job you feel good about, and you are happy and successful. As Ganesh is always saying, like, why should somebody be in a job for 40 years that they hate? Okay? So this is the goal of being an educator, okay? And I think this is the most important thing. We are here to help young people, and we are not here to fix them. We are just to resource. It's not your responsibility to know every job, every college, every application procedure. No, you're just there to help as best you can by sometimes being an expert and sometimes being a facilitator. Yeah, they can. Okay.
So we'll have 2 students. They would like to tell about what they feel in a minute's time, okay?
They both came for career counseling. I'm using this methodology, of course. So introduce yourself, stand in the middle, and then tell your name, and off you go.
Hi everyone, I am Amartya. I'm currently studying in 11th grade right now, and this course, the session that we've had, was quite unique. Like, it's nothing that I've ever been in before. And here it really opened my eyes to what was there. And as sir and ma'am said, they didn't direct me to something. It's like they opened the door. They didn't tell me to go in. They said, just open the door. And they showed me that there is a door, and I could go in and I could see a lot of stuff. So then with that, I've gotten insight into what I want to be. At first I thought, computer science. But then after that, when I started researching on what options I have, I love computers. So then I want to do computer engineering, which is actually different from computer science. And computer engineering deals with hardware level, computer technology. And that's the field that I want to go in right now. And I'm open to, enhancing my knowledge and seeing, okay, I have a year's time anyway. Let me see what options I have. And that's what this session has taught me. So, yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope the sessions are going well. Comfortable, fine? Yes. So, there was this one time when I was in 10th, I was confused what to do. So I skipped my games hour. I went to ma'am and I asked her, ma'am, this is my situation. I have no idea what to do. Please help me out. So she asked me first, where am I interested in, which subjects? And then she asked me, what did I research? I was clueless. So she told me, go home, research, do it, and find out what all ways to do. Find out the final jobs you get, and then come back, what all courses you have to do, what all universities provide the courses. If you want to go abroad, if you want to stay in India, search them up. And before that, what are the subject requirements? So they've guided me. They've, just like Amartya said, they've opened the door. They've showed me this is the way, this is the way. It's up to you, your interests. You discover yourself. You find out where you stand and what interests do you have. It's all you. It's just them guiding us to find out what we are. So career counseling sessions were a blast in our school, and they helped all of us in finding out what we are and our interests.
Great. Thank you. These are our students in 11th. We're just talking, actually, we're just talking to IC3 project manager lady, and she said that they're doing she said, guys, the lady that's administrating says you're all doing a great job, that she didn't have to tell you things, you're all self-directing yourselves and being proactive, so we're very happy about that. We're finishing the PPT here because we don't want to bore you, but we're just going to finish with a 9-minute video where it's testimony of students who did the career laboratory and their insights, okay? And then after we can have a few questions, okay? Can we do the video? Yeah, show the video, please.
Hello, my name is Ambikaa Kaul from 10th Stallions.
I'm Himamamsi from grade 10 Stallions.
Hi, I'm Anjali Iyer from 10th Skylots. I'm studying Silverworks for the last 11 years. And last year I was part of the design project as a part of the career guidance counseling project.
A very good day. I'm Shweta Pramod and I'm from 12 Science.
And I'm Samriddhi from 12 Science.
Good morning. I'm Harini and I study in grade 10 at Silverworks International School. And I've been a part of the group that did a project about the pharmaceutical industry.
Well, I'm Ranvi. Good morning, everyone. This is my 10th year in Silverworks. So even I've been a part of the pharmaceutical industry, which helped me know more about the pharma side, like the pharma industry.
My name is Rishik. I'm from grade 10 in Silverworks. So I've been part of the group which has researched upon the pharmaceutical industry and my interest is science.
We did this project by first researching in Google about the uses of math in daily life and job opportunities we can get from math. Then we interviewed a math teacher on his learning experience and how he decided on what to do in life from learning maths.
So our project, there were 6 or 7 people in our group, and our main focus was to make sure that anyone interested in the field of design knew what their college opportunities were and eventually what jobs they could procure in those fields. So we researched a lot and came up with a plan to help students make better choices regarding their career.
Our project was about the pharmaceutical industry and we presented about the importance of pharmaceutical industry, the future of pharmaceutical industry, the different career pathways available in the field of pharma. And we also looked into the educational qualifications and the skill requirements one needs to have in order to pursue a career in the pharma industry.
So we had a very interactive session with our counselors, Mr. Dermot and Ms. Michelle. So they helped us on what to research, why to research, and helped us really understand the importance of this research and also listening to others and making our own decisions so that it helps in a foreign education and helps in a better career pathway.
Yes, of course, their approach was very helpful. The whole project was student-centric. So they were very calm and patient with us when we had, like, I personally had so many doubts because I was interested in this project since a very long time. So my sir, my mentor, Dermot sir, I asked him so many questions and he never said a no for answering any. So it was good. I asked him a lot. He was always there to help me. So yes, I liked how they helped us.
So our counselors, Mr. Dermot and Ms. Michelle, they first they gave us a few guidelines, as I mentioned before, about how we should cover a project, which topics do we need to go in depth about, how do we attract the audience and make them attentive during our whole presentation, and yeah, they guided us through each and every step. And then while we were working on our presentations and our reports, our counselors gave us a few tweaks which we could do upon our work, and they pointed out some of the things which we could improve upon, like our oration and also the graphics of the PPT and such things. So we had a very helpful interaction with our counselors.
I feel I learned a lot about the career of maths and how it's not just limited to IT or engineering, and how there's like many fields that you can go to, and its application in daily life that we don't really use or mention that much, but it's actually very important as we use it every day.
It helped us discover more about maths and how the true size of maths.
It also helped me a lot with what I wanted to do for a career, and especially knowing such is such passion and how you felt about it, kind of inspired me.
I think the major learnings that we had were to collaborate and learn how to collate all the information that we had into a presentation of limited time, and to make sure that what research we had reached the audience effectively, and made sure that the main objective was reached. It was definitely good. It was definitely more on the optimistic front, because I think this, while it was very objective based, it also helped us and actually made us free of what we do, and didn't really have any limits as to how much we could research. And it was good because we could research how much ever we wanted to and collate that, because we knew what we wanted the students to know, and because there weren't any academics limits on it, it really helped us make sure that our content reaches the students well.
I think student-centric learning is always a better approach because we learn by ourselves, and this is helps us understand things better. This helps us know what is wrong, what is right, and gives us a better decision-making skills. So it's really helpful.
So yes, it was of course fun. So I have always had a soft corner for researching or exploring new things, and this project gave me a platform to explore more about something that I never really researched about. So I liked it throughout from the day one to the day when we presented. So it was very fun. I interviewed a person who lived in Canada who was pursuing higher education there. So it was very fun doing it and got to know more about Canada and all of it. So yes, it was a fun project. I'm looking forward for more of it.
And moreover, I think because we got to listen to other people's perspectives, opinions, other people's views on the study destinations, I think we have a view of all the colleges across the world, which will really help us in our future career making.
Yes, we definitely did get insights that will help us with our own career search. Like I mentioned before, by doing this project, I've really understood that I'm someone that can pursue forensic pathology. That's something that really interested me. Before, my only career options were the mainstream engineering and medicine, but now I know there's a whole new industry that I can explore and see if I can pursue a career in there.
From a long time, chemistry was my passion, and chemistry is quite related to pharmaceuticals. So I was quite interested to go ahead with this project because by interviewing experienced people, I got to know about what future I have ahead of me if I would like to take up a role in a pharma company. So I, by going through this project and like reviewing it after I presented, I got to know that there are so many interesting things. For example, Harini said forensics, and then we also have analytics based on the data which we receive. And we interviewed a person who regulated the business between pharmaceutical companies. So these are really insightful approaches which we have done in our project.
Yeah, so to be honest, I'm not a science student, like I don't really like science. But after doing the pharma, like after learning more about the pharma industry, like I really got inspired, and like maybe like there are so many streams, like so many different things that you can learn in the pharma, and there are a lot of people who have succeeded in this career. So like yeah, maybe even I could be one of them.
Okay.
So we want our students to enjoy their life, find a meaning and purpose in life. So we just took the rear seat, they were in the driver's seat. So this is the end of our presentation.
Yeah, just 1 second. Also, if you see, for example, those last guys in pharma, the chapter, what's his name? Rishik, is it?
Rishik.
Rishik was saying that, okay, I'm into chemistry, but I saw different aspects of chemistry, and there's also things like analytics. And then the other lady said, oh, even I'm not into the pharmacy thing, but even I might have something, because she realized that there's a business in pharma. You see? So when we started this project, those students by and large knew nothing other than engineering and medicine. But when they did these projects, they're using their insights and they're learning, if nothing else, they're learning about those industries. And also they're learning a methodology that they will use in their own life. They won't just sit there and just do what they're told or just buy into something. They will do their own research. So really, really, I can't think of anything better than getting the students to be inquirers. And myself, I've been teaching in Silver Oaks for 4 years. Before that, I used to do coaching and stuff. But what I found was, when I look back at me now versus 4 years ago, apart from even counseling, just teaching, is I realized more and more, the more I just ask them and let them come up with their insights, the better, rather than me being the expert. Okay, so that's everything done. Questions?
So this is the end of our presentation. I'm sure that as career counselors, we tell students to sit in the driver's seat and we are behind. Okay, when they need help, they will come to us. But if we do not give them that platform to think out of the box, make mistakes, whether silly questions they ask you, we were okay. You know, we are experts. Okay, we think we are experts. We may not be that experts, right? But learn to accept the children, whatever mistakes they make, just take it. Make them allowed to, you know, make mistakes, understand what you want to do in your life. Remember that as adults, even we will look at, you know, why people change jobs in adults, because they're not happy with the job. They're not happy with themselves after a few years. But we want our students to enjoy their life. There is something called as a happy quotient. I suggest that we need to make them allow them to dream. Suppose they're sleeping, allow them to dream. Well, that's what we did in our classes, and we saw amazing PPTs, reports, and they're looking forward when we're doing it now. So each year we're building on our Google site. So you know it's going to be a repository of information. When they pass out, they are giving it to their students who are already in the 7th and 8th. So we want to build that. Okay, so thank you so much patiently for taking out your time.
So questions?
To listening to us.
Any questions?
Oh, that is...
It's okay. Any hurdles you faced with so many students, like how did you
Can you imagine just taking 2 or 3, 5 children, managing them?
Yes.
290 plus students, the questions, the resources that we didn't have. You know, we just toggle between things, but we learned as a student. We were not acting as, you know, teachers, come, do this, do that. No. We were in the back seat trying to ask them, what can we do? Students gave us the suggestions how we can do it, and we learned a lot from them. Okay?
Yeah. On a practical level, we didn't have enough laptops, because Michelle had a laptop, I had a laptop, we have a computer in the room, and we have 27 kids. So obviously there's something missing. So after the first session, the kids said, because the kids are very clever, we didn't think this, the kids said, hey, can we just bring our devices? So we asked the manager, and says, yeah, you can keep the devices, but you have to keep them. So we end up like 10 laptops and 3 phones on our desk. But that was the only practical thing. And obviously you have to be a proactive teacher, because there are some teachers who just come and give it like a lecture. But when you got 32 groups, you have to follow up with each group. Have you done it? Have you done it? Did the interview? Have you got an issue? Because teenagers have a tendency of kind of, I just won't do anything, and I just won't say anything. But we have to, that's where we have to be the expert. We have to be the grown up in the room at that time, in the sense of, why can't you do it? How can you do it? Can somebody else do it? So you can't do this project and not be full on. We have to work our asses off, basically. Okay? Yeah.
You know, the teachers, when they were bombarded with questions from the children, they were like, what did you all do to them? First and foremost, we have to go and find out and research what to find and what answers to give them. So when they were bombarded with questions, it was interesting because we were learning, all of us.
Also, organization helps. I'm terrible at this, but Michelle's super duper all this Excel sheets and all this stuff. So it does help if you got some organization, who's who, what's what.
Trust me, I learned it from the students. You can ask, I shamelessly go to my students, I tell them, I don't know this, how do I do it? They feel
So
like, they teach me so much. I tell you, adults, we try to cover up our weaknesses, but I let loose of that. So I don't care about it. I ask my students, and beautiful, amazing. When you build a trust in them, they are super amazing that they will work with you. What you tell them to do, they will do it.
Okay.
And you learn from them.
So any other questions or comments? Yeah? 1 second. You do? Okay.
First of all, I must say it was an amazing session. We learned so much from it. I had a query. I just wanted to know that, if we give them so many choices and things like that, and as they go into each field, they may be interested in so many fields at the end of it. Like, if I was in their shoes, I would be interested in medicine, science. I would be interested in travel. I would be interested in accounts, finance, like so many things. So at the end of all that, if I'm even more confused about the so many choices, at times if you have so many choices, you become more and more confused. So is there a psychometric analysis we have to do at the end of it to realize what we are really good at or something like that?
No. See, we do actually, we do use psychometrics to help, but we don't use that for decision making, okay? I used to work in sales. If I had a blackboard or whiteboard, I could show you a thing called the decision, not another decision circle, which is the buying circle, okay? So let's say I used to sell computers, and let's say somebody calls in and says, I'm thinking of buying a computer in 18 months. Where are they on the decision cycle? Decision circle. So just imagine a circle. So here is I'm finished my decision. Here I'm starting my decision. So I'm buying a laptop 18 months. Where are they on that decision circle? Where are they? At the beginning or the end? No, 18 months. 18 months from now, I'll buy a laptop. Beginning, okay? So, but when they get enough information, they'll come through and say, I'm looking at 3 laptops, I got my credit card, I'm going to buy one today. Are they at the beginning or the end? End. So every student has a decision-making cycle. When they get enough information, when they get enough exposure, they will make their own mind up. So we have to give them the resources and the exposures, but we also have to accept, for example, the other week I had one student who came to me and said, I don't know what to do. He's a science student, MBC. And I just said to him, well, what's your best subject? He says, my best subject is maths. Do you like maths? I said, I really like maths. So I just suggested to him that, well, maybe if you're still not sure, because he's 12 standard. Yeah, okay. If you're still not sure, just do a base degree around maths, something. You can always do a master. So some people know what they want to do at 14. Some people will be 25 or 26. So they will all finish that decision circle sometime, but if they haven't finished by the end of school, at least direct them in a degree that they can build something. So they will get there. They won't be, if they're more confused now, it's just they haven't finished the cycle. They will get there. That's it.
In a simple, when you're going to buy clothes for yourself, apparels, don't you do a lot of talking or asking your friends, which is good, what is this? We have to do the similar way. Allow them to explore. Let them come with questions, and after that we ask them, why did you ask me this question? And then we give them, and it's more meaningful. When we blot out things on them, they don't know what to take, what not to take.
So,
yeah, it'll be our perspectives what we give them. But when it comes from a student, it changes their mindset actually.
So the lady in the corner is giving me the 5-minute mark, so we have to go and, anybody else have any questions?
Anyone else?
No? Vishal, I thought you were going to ask me a question, no? You're holding back. You answered all the questions, my God. This lady, sorry, yes.
Sorry, I'll give it.
Yeah.
I came a little late, so maybe I missed something in the beginning. But what was the cycle like? What was the time scale like? Because this sounds like it took about 4 or 5 months at least.
Okay, so this thing, we had 4 classes, which probably So basically 1 month, because one class a week. But we had the lockdown for a month. So if we had more time, it would be nice to do it in 6 classes.
And when you're saying one class, you're talking about 27 students at a time.
Okay.
So you're saying 267 students over 10 classes then?
No, no, no.
Or all together?
No. What I mean is, okay, so let's say we have 8 sections in 9th and 2 sections 11th. That's 9 classes. Each one gets 1 class a week. We needed 4. So the first class, we gave them an overview of the decision circle. Next class, we allowed them to groups. And in the next 2 classes, we sat with them and said, how are you getting on? Plus, you have to remember they're coming to us all the time and asking us questions and calling us and stuff.
And when you say that they have to put up a presentation, there were no pointers about like what these are the areas that you can cover or stuff like that.
There is, in fairness, there's a lot of parameters. If you want me to share, I can share. I can share the parameters. With IC3, they always give you millions of parameters. There is actually a lot of parameters. Whether you want to choose all those parameters or not, we have to because we're doing this project. But yeah, if you want us to share, we can. There is parameters. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, this lady down here. Okay.
I'll go and
Okay, so just on the decisions there, so there's 2 things. One, just at the end, I talked about a buying cycle, which is actually sales, because they come from sales, and I was thinking sales. But decision circle is basically a methodology that, it's basically designed to help people collaborate and work together, and it's very popular in IC3. So there's 3 main stages. One is research and exploration. So a student comes to you, like I said, the student say the boy is good at maths. Instead of me saying, do a BTEC, I should ask questions. Well, what's your passions? What's your hobbies? How do you spend your time? And then as the conversation goes in that session, we'll have some idea about what their interests are and what kind of courses. And I might share some information on various courses I know. And then I say, okay, for next time, I want you to research this college. I want to research this career option. Say music. Have a look at these colleges over here, or have a look. You Google. Say, I know all the stuff on the music stuff, but let's say you research and you come back and chat to me, and then we go back and forth over a few sessions. Maybe we use a psychometric test now and again, and then if we need to, we get the parents involved. I'm not a big fan of getting parents involved unnecessarily because they can be troublesome sometimes, but to some degree, because sometimes they're, I want to come in and have another chat. So if it's necessary, we can collaborate with them, which would be really, I think what a lot of parents, if a student says something like, I want to do music or something like that, Indian parents will be worried they're going to starve to death. They have this image that my kid's on the side of the road in the cardboard box and all this stuff. So we have to, and the parents in our school, they're kind of middle class parents. Half the parents are in IT, half are small business people. And you can see they have that stressed middle class look about them. They're stressed out. They're not like millionaires, okay? So we have to talk to them and support them. And if the child shows that they did research, they'll start thinking, hey, that's not just my kid being crazy. My kid's serious about this career. My kid's showing me options and possibilities. And so we're trying to win over the parents. And also look at all the factors, how much money people have, what responsibilities. We're not jumping to conclusions. So that's it. So research, data, collaboration. And you just keep reiterating that till you get to where you need to. Yes.
Yes, yes.
And then he shares that with us, and he can share with, and tell you, if a child shows a parent, say a 14, 15-year-old kid, shows their parent this course, that course, this, the parents are saying, wow, they're really interested, maybe, because this is the way it is as a parent. And if your kid says something, oh God, this is their fad of the week. But if the kid, see, because most kids won't have the know-how, but if we do this with them, they will start to have the know-how, and the parents will be impressed. And a new conversation will happen in that family.
With your
parents,
the teachers,
parents, kids,
your peers, industry experts. So we would like to say that we have already established our career counseling space in our school. We have established that. We have things all in place. We have 5 career counselors. After we have taken up this project, things have changed a lot in our school, and I'm certain that you will also be inquiry facilitators. So wish you all the very best. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.